What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. We are going to complete our Echo reaction series with the finale. Really excited. Episode 5.
Yep.
The first 4 episodes have all been great. I think the last episode was probably my favorite, though.
I think so, too.
It was the most intense. It really got the most deep into, like, the story and...
Psychological complexities between characters were explored in depth.
Yeah, and now the Maya and Kingpin relationship has been explored. And they're really like going deep into their relationship and the complexities of it, and it's awesome. It's fascinating. It's creepy. It's weird. It's
dark as hell. I love it.
Yeah, it's something we haven't really seen before. And Vincent D'Onofrio is, I think, perfect for Kingpin.
Yeah.
Alaka Cox is just like I'm in love with her. I think she's awesome.
She's so incredible.
So far, I'm nothing but impressed.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, like, I knew that there was going to be, like, action and that there was going to be a lot of butt kicking and violence and, like, all that. But really, like, I'm most impressed by just the performance.
Yeah.
Overall. Because I'm really invested. I really feel the characters and what they're feeling.
I agree.
And that's not easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
So guys, yeah, I mean, it's really hitting on all levels right now, and to me, this feels like a perfect like establishing environment where like they've really established. Like, I don't know how much they're gonna take care of in this episode in terms of like moving the story forward, but this season just seems like the perfect setup season for like even more. Like you could make a series out of this.
Yep,
easily.
100% agree.
And the fact that the Native American community is involved and there's all this authentic culture that they're depicting, it's just, it's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's great in its specificity. It's authentic because it is specific.
Yeah.
They're really focusing on Choctaw traditions and stories and culture. And it's not just the same. They even made fun of sort of the homogenized mishmash that you find in anthropology.
Yeah.
During the Graham Greene scene, in the shop with the clueless sort of white customers. Mm-hmm. But it's not sort of generic Hollywood pablum that mashes all native cultures into one. It really is very specific, and that makes it very authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, and the storyline of the ancestors and the connection between the generations, the connection from the ancestors, and the way the grandmother was saying, like, your ancestors reach out to you when you need them most, for guidance. So, like, there is obvious, like, metaphor there. We have seen one literal scene of her, like, when she escaped, got her leg untrapped from the train, and, like, used some, like, power, and then she had, like, the glowing things in her hand that the ancestor has in the vision.
How literally we're meant to take that is sort of up in the air, but I think the point is that there is literal strength that can be gleaned from a connection to your culture and your history.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that how deep you want to read into the metaphor isn't necessarily, it's not that important. It's the metaphor in general. Yeah. And man, cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving the message. I'm loving the acting and the performance and just the way this also ties in neatly to existing MCU material. Like we're like this is from Hawkeye,
which we loved. Yeah.
And
we got Daredevil entering the fray.
I would like to see something more with Daredevil in this episode, because it was just sort of like a hot little, quick little fight that
maybe Charlie Cox is only in the one episode.
Oh,
okay. I'm not positive about that, but I think he's maybe only in the one episode.
They just kind of wanted to.
He does have his own show coming out, so we have more to see from him.
Yeah, because here he was just sort of like a mechanism to show how badass she was, because Kingpin was like, oh, like none of my guys have won in a fight against that Daredevil guy. Yeah. Anyway, guys, excited for the finale, and I can't wait to talk about it afterwards, so that we can kind of like put everything together and make sense of it all. So let's jump into our reaction, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
The following contains mature content. Yeah, it does. It's our friend the woodpecker.
I think that's actually a sapsucker. It's like a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Well, it was a yellow-bellied sapsucker, which is technically a woodpecker. Oh, her mother's a
Her
healer.
mother's a healer.
Okay,
Her
that's
Chula
right.
said that, didn't she?
Okay, so these are literal powers. So you know what? She just had the same like glow in her
In her
I wonder
hands.
if that means Echo has a similar healing ability.
Hurry on out here. I have to get to work.
Hola. Radiant as the sun shining out of my...
No. I bought in a sewing machine a few years back, and I was just wondering, maybe... This how you treat paying customers? It's a wonder you got any business at all.
He went to go get it.
Of course. He wouldn't have sold her sewing machine.
Well, when you brought it in, I cleaned it and oiled it, put mesh blanket on it. I knew you'd come back for it. I just had to wait.
How much do I owe you?
Nothing. Just promise me you'll come back once.
What a charmer.
Tipi sala tiki. Scully.
I love how people that have like been through life and have lived life can like speak between the lines to each other like clearly and like it's very it's endearing.
Please, let me help.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I've seen you around before. You here for the powwow?
Yes, you could say that.
You want to call it a powwow?
he's not here
Massacre
for the
is more
powwow.
like it.
It's American Sign Language. It says I love you.
Oh, you sign?
I try for my niece.
I keep it up now for my granddaughter.
Really? Well, tell me about her.
Her name's Maya.
Oh.
She's come in from
It's very dangerous.
It just gives me the
Roxxon gas station. Nice little Easter egg there. It's probably like billion-dollar tech.
yeah, it ain't cheap.
Oh, this is a mess.
Right over there is General Parking with Roger Two Moons. If you just head up.
So I'm gonna pack up down by there so you can enjoy your indigenous fare from afar.
I should have given you a little slit thingy to put up on your dash, because otherwise, if not, then the power.
You can like feel the tension simmering in the air.
Yeah, dude, I'm so uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
It's a sign.
Yep.
Yep.
Listen to the ancestors. They're talking to you.
Well, I mean, if the story goes the way it goes, then she has to save everybody, right?
Okay. We echo
Yep.
through you.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. It's like a mix of superhero costume with traditional regalia.
Sweet.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, the beads.
Yeah, the leather
Oh
work.
my god. Those shoulder plates are like tiny little beads.
I love seeing a powwow depicted on screen. This is amazing. This is Dallas Goldtooth. He's an amazing comedian and writer.
Okay. Is it Zane?
Zane.
Zane.
And his goons. I love that you can still feel the heartbeat of the drum in her oral world.
Oh boy. What kind of weapons are we talking about here?
Not today, Naholos. Not today.
The lights. He does still have an eye.
Yep. I don't know what happened.
Oh god, is this which one do you want to save more type situations? Alright, who's gonna die, who's gonna live? Your best friend or your grandmother? Ooh! Fuck! Oh Jesus! The tension. No way, dude.
Oh my lord.
No, not if Biscuits has anything to say about it. He was like, "Not today, no holos." Oh, dude. She's gonna fight them all.
Now is the time to use that strength from your ancestors.
Oh shit. Let's go. Fuck, dude.
That's right. Oh, cool.
Oh, shape-shifting. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, they're just like bitch slapping him. The strength of 20 ancestors.
Biscuits.
Not today, no holos. Monster truck, let's go.
Biscuits, you're a G.
Oh no, Henry's got this guy.
Henry sees him.
Not today, no holos.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
What?
Ah! Oh shit. Fireworks.
Fireworks show in the house tonight.
What's up now? Yeah, she's got the power. Oh, it's healing.
Can she heal what's broken inside of him?
Yeah, heal his heart. Holy shit.
She put him back into his
yep.
childhood?
Yep. Bro, is she like giving him therapy right now? She's gonna.
What did you do?
She gave you some juju.
So instead of having, Sunday dinner with Fisk, she's gonna sit down with her family. Her real family.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic.
I want a meeting with all the remaining heads. We need to stabilize this situation before it spirals out of control.
Uh-oh.
Describe their ideal candidate. It turns
Oh.
out want somebody who is a fighter.
He's gonna become mayor of New York.
And the voters want somebody who understands the pain they're going through, who understands the frustration they're going through.
Exactly right. A bare-knuckle brawler would do well in this race.
But wouldn't that candidate have emerged by now? That's the question that remains for so many people. Is that candidate even out there?
There's still a window of opportunity. That's what the
Okay.
film is telling us.
And then
Kingpin's
he's
gonna be mayor of New York.
And he's gonna be Daredevil's problem again.
Oh yes. So yeah, I this confirms the way I was feeling earlier. I was like, this definitely feels like just the beginning, just the preliminary. Like they just set
Yeah.
up. Like we just watched like the first of many parts of Echo.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
What an unbelievably powerful episode.
Yeah.
This entire story of the support and strength of her ancestors was overwhelming to me. I wanted to cry. And then when she channels the ancestors, and it almost looked like she was shape-shifting, but she was just channeling all of their power, all of their strength. It was just, that was like a wow moment.
Yeah, and then they did make it seem like when they showed the mother literally healing the bird, and then her like literally imparting the powers on her on Bonnie and her grandmother so that they could fight for themselves
Yep.
with their like power fists or whatever. It's like, okay, it literally is more of a literal power. It isn't.
Yeah. But it's a metaphor at the same time.
Yeah, it's a
you know?
metaphorical literal power.
It's a metaphorical
It's
literal
literally
power.
metaphorical, man.
It seems to function literally in this world, but it also is absolutely a metaphor for like the strength of connection to culture, connection to history.
Yeah.
The power of community.
This is
And
MCU.
It was,
it's
yeah.
comic books. It's superheroes.
Right.
And we were like, her superhero is like, she's a real world superhero.
Yes.
Sign language, prosthetic leg, member of a
Correct.
marginalized community. Like
Yes.
she's already a superhero, but here, like that's like a superpower that they've given.
Yeah,
them
which
a
is
literal superpower.
amazing, and I mean that's actually inspiring in the cheesiest sort of most on the nose sense of the word. That is really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I found this entire episode really on the nose inspiring.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see how she did live up to the legacy of her ancestors. She did sort of save her people,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time it was about the power of community. Like Biscuits helped out and Henry helped out and Bonnie and Shula helped out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and everybody had to come together, and it was taking place in the context of a powwow, which, by the way, if any of you out there have never been to a powwow, I really encourage you to go to one. They're open to the public. It's a great way to learn about Native cultures and to support Native artists and artisans. So it's just an amazing intertribal communal event. And it really was like this moment in the show when community was coming together in celebration, and her community, her immediate community, was able to come together to help her save the day.
Sure.
Which was great to see. Love to see it.
It seemed as though in real time when she was like healing Kingpin, that it was she did it on like his chest first and then moved to his head. It's like, oh, she's healing his heart and healing his mind, like kind of. And he was
can
like, "What
anybody
did you do?"
fix what's broken inside of him?
But is that because obviously it showed him like going back to the pain of like hearing his mother getting beaten by his father or whatever, and then she had she tried to comfort him
in a way. I'm not clear on exactly what happened within him, because he's still clearly the same.
But he was like, "What did you do?" or whatever. What did she do?
She put him in touch with.
She
his
make him
own
a good
pain.
guy. Like now, now exactly. You know, it's funny because when you heard them talking about the qualities they wanted in a marriage, it was like somebody who understands the pain that we're going through.
Yeah.
And it's like I think
that's what she did. She put him in touch with his pain.
That's why I was like, oh, she's kind of giving him therapy right now. She's teaching him how to be in touch with his emotions,
trauma.
not bury them deep down inside and kill people.
Yeah.
Now, so it's like you're right. Kingpin is going to be Daredevil's problem. That's going to be in the comic books,
that's
they're
the classic matchup.
You know,
they've already been arch enemies in the Netflix show, and I'm sure that's going to be the case here as well on Disney.
Yeah.
Wow, an amazing conclusion to this season. I mean. Last episode we said was maybe our favorite episode so far. Now I think maybe this one was my favorite episode so far.
Yeah.
Loved seeing the powwow depicted on screen. I found that really powerful.
Episode 4 and 5 really tied
it all together.
Yeah, episode 4 and 5 had that.
I mean, this started strong and it continued strong, and if anything, it only got stronger as the season went on.
This really was like
fantastic.
the fact that we got all 5 episodes at once and we didn't have to wait week. It gave us the opportunity to watch this like it was a long movie.
Yeah.
And that's like a really good movie.
That was a great movie. Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait for the next part of this. Like you could easily do a trilogy, which means, okay, you could easily have 3 seasons of this.
And this being the climax, I could physically feel the tension of this episode. The moment when you said, "Oh, I'm so uncomfortable,"
I was like, "Oh, who's gonna Biscuit's gonna die? Is Henry gonna die? Is the grandmother gonna die?"
I had palpable fear. I was so worried. I was so upset and so worried, leading up to like what's gonna go down at this powwow, and I could feel it physically, sort of in my chest. That was just amazing filmmaking.
Yeah, and then that message sending it off at the end, thanking the Choctaw Nation.
For their collaboration.
Yeah, and it really is just like it couldn't be more just genuine and authentic and like.
Yeah. I'm so glad that this show exists for so many reasons at once on so many levels. Mm-hmm. I said at the very top of this whole thing that this was representation on a whole new level, but the number of different communities who are seeing themselves represented in this show is really empowering. Just I'm so happy that this show is out there in the world. Yeah. We knew this was coming since 2 years ago, right? It was 2 years ago, correct? Yeah. Am I wrong? I don't think you're wrong. No.
Hawkeye was 2 years ago.
Right? Something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, they filmed some of. They must have filmed some of it because. Man, that casting with the young Maya is perfect. She looks
just like her.
Looks just
and she was
like
also
her.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Cool, man. What a cool show. I'm excited to see what happens next. We kind of had a long break between the end of Loki and this, and now because we just did all 5 episodes at once, I'm not quite sure what's coming next. Down the pipeline.
There are a couple
for us.
Star Wars projects, but they have dates that haven't even been announced yet.
Things keep changing.
So, things have been changing in the wake of the strikes and everything as well. So,
but for now, this was an excellent show, and I'm glad we did reactions to it. It may not be the most like sort of reaction heavy show. We have sometimes think like we did Secret Invasion. That wasn't necessarily the most reaction heavy show, but it had some of those intense moments where it's really just like this is more just sort of about enjoying really good material.
Our reactions weren't necessarily as big and consistent throughout every episode, but when we did react to something, like I felt it. I felt like our reactions were very deeply felt on this show. Yeah,
and we talked earlier again about how like that one time Maya smiled, it had such a deep impact because she was saving that smile for that moment, and there at the very, very end in front of her family, she smiled again, and it was like, man, just saving that emotion for that moment has that much more impact. Yeah. So props to the directors, props to the actors. Were all episodes the same director?
I think there was one maybe that was directed by somebody else. It was primarily Sidney Freeland.
Yes.
But I think there was one episode that was directed by another person.
But yeah, props all around. I noticed the sound and the Foley was particularly good. There was a
Yeah.
couple of times where I was like, oh, just like footsteps on the wood across the
There
floor.
was some
like,
brutal, horrifying
I was paying
Foley
attention.
in this show.
Yeah.
Some of the fight sequences when people would get their necks snapped
oh
or
my
something
god, it's
would
like,
happen.
like hitting cow corpses with baseball bats or
Yeah.
something. It just sounded like...
There was some really terrifying sound effects in
My
this
goodness.
show.
Yeah, guys, would love to know not only what you thought about this episode, but the whole Echo series in its entirety, and what you thought about it. Let us know what you liked or didn't like even, and what you're excited to see next, and what are your predictions moving forward with Kingpin and Daredevil and Echo. And you know what? We also mentioned Kate Bishop earlier. She was part of that Hawkeye scenario, and they kind of handed the reins off to her. So I'd like to see them get Haley Steinfeld back in. And
Definitely.
include her on this crew of characters.
Yeah.
But guys, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see reactions fully unedited and watch along style, go over to patreon.com/JediJive. That's where we put them up. We'll see you next time, guys.
Peace.